or we could gamble and take a chance.
What's your, have you talked at all to your ambulance carrier?
You what?
Have you talked to your ambulance carrier at all? We have $290,000 budgeted for them. Is that for next year? Is that going to cover that?
I think we're looking at that right now.
I mean, I see that as part of health care. I mean, it's not in the health insurance. Yeah, ambulance. It's not in the. It's not directly to Mark, but I mean, I'm looking. You know, we've got for 2014, you got $1,275,000 for health insurance, and you got another $300,000 for ambulance. Is that going to cover the ambulance, or?
Mark, that's in a discussion right now. We're
Okay.
really not prepared to even talk about it yet.
All right, that's fine. At least you're talking apparently to them about it, which is good. Maybe. I mean, it gets us the figure. Gets us the figure.
Okay. Do you want to pursue? Yes, Mark.
Could I come back to the, I'm just a little bit concerned about the timing on this. You said it might take 30 days, and there's actually bills that are sitting out there that can't be paid, and you talk about looking good for the county, that's not gonna look good for the county. So if there's 50 or 40 or 70 or something that you can get to move in and at least pay that 65 that they sent back or whatever, but send some of it. And then there is gonna be another 20-something coming, and then just turn back around and send it, which shouldn't be an issue. But I'm just concerned about waiting 30 days to pay these, because some of the providers, if you go too long, then you broke the contract.
One thing about it, we're sitting here with appropriations, to pull out. We're not at liberty right now to do that at this meeting. It has to be advertised, correct?
Only if you do an addition.
Do additional.
Reimbursement, they can turn around and do.
Okay. You got,
Can,
so, go ahead.
can we ask CMCS, to find a problem with them and see if they can negotiate this a little time for us, or maybe smaller payments than that 65 all at once?
Yeah, I mean, that would be an issue. I don't know about negotiating the time, but I can talk to them and see, sure. But I'm not so sure that I think it's more of a contract issue with them to get the discount. So the whole thing is, if you pay within a certain amount of time, you get this discount. If you don't pay in a certain amount of time, then they can take it away from you. So the negotiation may be, don't take the discount away or something like that. So, but yeah, I can talk to them. I talked to them Friday about this, so I can talk to them.
John?
Yeah, Ben, as we're talking about other alternatives for the county employees, in the next paycheck, I think there needs to be a letter put in there, a note, saying that we're looking at other things for 2014, so that they realize that it's not going to be a big surprise all of a sudden. They've got a chance to be thinking about what they're going to do if we go another way.
Are you good at writing that letter? I'd like to see the magic ink on that so it's palatable.
Yeah.
I'd say the newspaper's probably gonna be printing on the front page next week.
Yeah.
I don't think there's be.
Not everybody
They can
reads the
do that.
newspaper, though, right?
Well, I mean, it go around, don't have.
A letter or a stuffer would be good when we have a better idea of what's happening,
Right.
to try to dispel some of the.
Well, realistically talking, out publicly, is that we are trying to find a package that we may look at the new health care plan as an alternative, which a lot of employees would get a chance for a discount at a discounted rate, as we know it as of right now. And then there's a possibility with their own risk management of them being, that they might be a more favorable package than what we are considerably able to offer as a county level. And that's realistically what we're kind of looking at. And with that, with maybe what it would save the county as far as our health insurance is maybe that the county can help in some type of a financial bonus or reimbursement to help in that process. And so,
That sounds like pretty good ink right
well,
there.
I mean, realistically, that's what
Yes.
we're trying to look at in there. We're trying to not put everybody out on a sterile desert island out here, is trying to work with the alternatives that work that to the benefit of both the employee and to the county. Because right now, we're at one where apprehensively, we're into a train wreck that the county can sustain, and the employee would be out, period, with that. So before we hit the barrier. So, anyway, that's kind of where we're at with that. I don't know how much more discussion you want
I
to.
think we as commissioners just have to, on 2014, I think we're gonna just have to wait. We're gonna have to wait on some numbers to come at us. I don't think we have a choice. I think the council's gonna have to too. And I think we've got to wait on these numbers to come in if the government ever decides to go back to work and see what we can do.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see you guys are all here.
Well, yeah.
We're here, but the higher ups that control all the money's not.
You know, the real possibility though is, the real fact about it is, people should get themselves prepared to look for other means of being insured. Because, we're in our October meeting. We're getting ready to go into November, December. Whether or not there's something comes out or not, we're not the only ones that are going to be in this position. It's terrible right now that the federal government has put us in this position as of October 1st of not having accessibility to find out the facts, nor the facts of how much it's going to cost an individual. These are things that we're got our nose right up against those glass with right at this point in time. Plus, we've got, as this council here, we've got to be looking at the dollars. And we are looking at the dollars, and we do know this is one of our top expenses. And so we're trying to do everything we can, as we've expressed, but we're limited to how far we can go and support the finances of this county.
1.7 is farther than you can go.
Yeah.
I mean, by having to look at loaning, we know 1.7 is farther than we can go.
Okay, with that, we've given a motion, it's been approved, and that, the commissioners, I think that was our biggest order of business while we're here. Is there anything else the commissioners like to address in conjunction with you?
I think there's a lot of questions unanswered, like how much more money are we gonna get from, talking about the 2013 bills? Maybe we'll have a little more when we go down in November to thank them. They may have some idea of how much more we're probably gonna be able to get in riverboat money for this year. And if anything else comes from checks, Mark can present to us, we'll know a little bit more, I'd say, in a few more weeks, how much we'll have to take out to
Now,
do the 2013.
to go back to the original subject as far as taking care of the immediate bills out there, Sarah, Michelle, is there any way that we can go ahead and move some money around today to go ahead and accommodate that?
We just have to look, I don't think right now, I say we would just have to go in and look and see what is left in the line item for the riverboat. What's left?
I mean, there's 40,000 in there,
Well, we know there's 40,000 there.
unless there's been any bills turned in on it.
Then you said there's a little bit left in it, 15%.
Now, that'll have to be to your approval to allow that. Of course, I don't know if you...
$40,863
I think that's
In
the
edit.
point, the 15, that edit is,
And add
Our
it.
15% other roads. We went from 75 to 25.
Do we want to go ahead and have a motion to approve for them to go ahead and make that transfer on to utilize that. I don't know what the proper terminology.
And then go ahead and do a motion that if they can find some funds that are not designated or appropriated at this point, go ahead and try to use.
We'll have to reimburse them.
We'll have to clear
We'll have
that.
to reimburse them.
The commissioners have to approve
We have
the
to
edit,
clear
any,
that.
any change in the edit, they have to approve
On
that.
the edit, but, you were, okay, both of those are edits.
What about
Okay.
the cube cap
You've
for
got
now?
Cap.
Yeah,
No.
You could do
Well-
that as long as it's put back by the first, by the second.
I
Yeah,
really
that's
hate
it.
to, I really hate.
But what are you gonna,
Cap.
what are you gonna
The
pay?
borrowing of,
that's a
Well, you-
reimbursement of it.
I mean, there's 94,000 in that fund, but I don't know what bills are
I
sitting out
just,
there.
yeah, if we have an emergency and if something happens to that boiler, then
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
you
be in
know,
bad
the
shape.
You
boiler,
better
I
turn
mean,
that
the
on.
Bottom
here as we-
restrooms having issues.
I mean, I really almost, I know I said King Cat, but I really would hate to.
Well, I'm
Say
gonna
you have
assume-
two funds you
I
could
bet
do
you guys
additionals
already
out of,
been
and these
looking
would have to
at
be
what's out there.
additionals.
They've already been looking.
That's the only two funds other than
Yeah.
Q jail. And I don't know how much he
I don't really think we're gonna have a choice until Michelle and Sarah sit down and study it, and just try to find some dollars. They can bring it to us Tuesday, and we'll look at it, if we find the dollars covered, we'll do it.
Michelle's got some right now, right?
There's all the bills in it. On
Not
everything we
paving.
do,
There's what we have right
there's
there.
a lot of outstanding stuff out here.
This is Riverboat still there?
There is 135 in the riverboat.
There's 135 in Riverboat. Then the edit, the additional, that's the total, right?
That would be the only amount you could do an additional out of it.
Is that 25%?
Yeah, there's 100,000 there.
25%?
No, in the fund. We're looking at additionals right now.
15% now. We went from 75, 25, 85, 15.
Those are the only two funds that we have right now, other than Q jail.
And actually, if you wanted to borrow it all and not worry about any of this other stuff, Cume Jail would be the place to do it, because that's the one that has the money in it.
Let me sit down with them and talk to them. We can
How
come
much
back
you
to
got
the
in it?
commissioners.
351 in the fund.
Yeah, I don't think, I didn't even think about Cume Jail, but that'd be the place to take to do it.
How much is how much is the monthly payments, or what's the payment we gotta have? For our insurance, keep our
Well,
insurance going.
it's a monthly payment that's small, and then you have your claims.
It's the
which-
claims that are.
It's about $130,000 a month is what it's averaging.
Yeah.
That's been the 2013 average.
Yes.
Well, I just suggested Michelle and Sarah get together and see what's available, and then we can decide our next meeting how much we're gonna.
All right.
We want to
let's-
go to, sound to me like with this jail
Well-
thing, that's a place to borrow it, whatever we need.
But
And
it,
you
I mean,
gotta
it
do
takes,
before you're gonna pay it back.
you have to have a resolution to
To
borrow
it.
out of the,
Right,
Then you gotta pay it back.
right.
pay back by when, the first of the
End of
year?
the year.
We know how much has to be paid back.
So if we took 200,000 out of Cume Jail, and have Tom and Mark to set us up for another 200,000 on borrow, that would cover us throughout the year, right?
But you still have to pay that back by January 1.
Yeah.
You would like to think, I mean, we thought 350 was gonna cover us through the end of the year.
I didn't. The trend was not there.
Hey, we didn't, we put 1.4 million in there for 2013.
Yeah.
Somebody cut it.
1.4 didn't catch it either.
Heck of a lot closer than 1.2.
My magic ball was kind of cloudy that day. All right. I think we need to give them guidance that we gotta look at some places, for short-term money to cover some bills and stuff. I mean,
Be out of
realistically, I mean,
funds that we have,
we do
the
it-
capital funds that we have,
is that an action of the council or the commissioners?
in action of the council, to borrow it out of the funds.
All right, so it needs to be an action of here. Do we need to have a special meeting to do that? Okay?
We'll get with you if you have.
All right.
one.
If we have to have a special meeting, we'll need to advertise and come in there to do that. So let's put it up there. We'll make a motion that we go ahead and pursue these avenues, and that we'll probably have a special meeting to be called. Do we need a motion on that?
I don't think you need a motion. I
Okay.
think you just.
That's kind of the general
be
work
aware
order.
that That's what we're.
That's going to be the work order of the process.
Don't be surprised if you get a phone call.
All right? We'll do it that way.
Have to get out of the cash.
Because we'll have to approve it to be able to pull out those funds. But we can have a special meeting to do that. But we need to figure out what we can do legally and where to do it at.
David, Harrison County ought to be able to tell us approximately how much more we're going to probably get this year too.
I'd hope so. We got to figure out everything.
Well, that's gotta go through the state, and timing
Yeah,
is
the
an issue
timing
there
is the
too.
biggest issue with them.
Whereas in the past,
Yeah.
So now, after all this, have we covered okay on our payment? Are we okay to where we can actually make our insurance bill?
no.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Claims,
Not
before
yet.
we get all this done?
Yeah.
You get all this done, hopefully we can.
Okay.
We'll get our current claims done, but we also need to make steps as far as making provisions to take us to January 1.
Well,
Right.
you did that, but, I mean, we're looking at borrowing $450,
Right.
so hopefully that will get us there.
Okay. Do we know what we're doing?
We know about the borrowing part.
Yeah.
What I'm worried about, though, is making sure that monthly bills are paid.
Well, I think
Right.
that's what we said.
And that's gonna be before the borrowing part, because Mark just said it's gonna take around 30 days, right?
But this other part, we're gonna look at as far as what we can do internally in there, and probably have a special meeting for the county council to come in to approve.
So we're talking within a week,
Within a week, 10
Yeah.
days,
to
maybe.
make sure that we make our
Yeah.
payment, all right,
Yeah.
30, okay.
Right.
So we can do that next Tuesday.
Well, the council may not be able to.
We might, well, it depends on what we have to do as far as advertising and doing all that. Okay? We'll have it as quickly as we can. As soon as we
There's
find the
some idea,
information.
David, because when they get together and see what's available, funds, then I'll contact the auditor in Harrison County and get an approximate, they should have an approximate number to know what we can expect from the end of the year too, and then that way we know how much that we're talking about to borrow for the
Correct.
short term to get us to January 1st.
Okay. All right. Philip, you look confused.
Question. When did the Lloyd tax,
We probably won't get,
Until next year.
won't get a distribution, we don't think, until after the first of the year.
I thought it was gonna start in November.
Yeah, it started October 1st, but we won't get a distribution, we won't get any of that money in our pocket until after the first of the year.
But it's gonna be used.
Yeah,
Or they don't have it yet.
don't have it.
Don't have it, if,
Say
we may be able, same thing of what we just, we answered Mark a little while ago, is we may be able to dedicate that as the reimbursement, as the repayment stream for the bond, or for the borrow,
okay, with that,
which, well, I don't know that we can, I don't know that we
Because
can't.
when we did this, we did it as a certain, this money goes just for certain
Things.
things, and that's it.
Yeah,
right,
that's
right.
Well,
And
but
it's
the
public,
savings-
this is public safety.
But the
That's public,
savings-
those things are public safety.
I mean, take that money, we've put it into the public safety budgets. We took the money out of the public safety budgets and put it somewhere else. We may end up having to take it out of that place to repay this loan.
And put
Those are the
expenses
steps.
Back into county general.
Maybe public safety.
For your 2014, you're still not looking at not having to go in. That's a double negative. For 2014 budgets, you still may very well go in, even after you get your budget order, and cut more to deal with this very issue.
Yeah.
You know, I understand
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah, I'm not trying to answer Phil, I'm looking at you, Sarah, but, I mean, that's the same thing that Mark's talking about, the
Talking about
savings.
taking money from stuff we don't even have, which I don't think you could do in the
Well,
first
it's
place.
very difficult. And I'm not saying that we can, I'm not disagreeing with you to some degree.
I'm over.
I'm just saying at this point, I think we can try to look at it and see if there's a way to structure it. And there may not be, you may be absolutely right.
Okay, any more discussion on the insurance? We about wore it out, haven't we?
You've got wore me out. I know.
All right. I mean, with that, we're gonna go ahead with our rest of our business. I mean, you wanna leave your meeting open?
I would make a motion to adjourn unless there's something else on there, John, you second.
Dave made a motion for second adjourn, raise your right hand.
Who made the motion to adjourn?
David and
David.
Bill second.
All right. Plan commission appointment, that's already been taken care of. We went through legal counsel. The commissioners actually make that appointment.
Oh, okay.
So that's taken care
That's
of.
done.
Dave, don't carry on any further business until two of us disappear, please.
Okay.
I'll stay.
Thank you, Mark.
There'll probably be some people you'll be in tomorrow.
I'll be tomorrow, but I'll be out first.
Probably be sometime tomorrow morning is what I would like. I have to look at my calendar, but I would like tomorrow. Because I've got a court case and I've got an appointment this afternoon. I mean, if I can get that guy out by 3:15, I'd come see you this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, if you,
That's one of the things that, well, I'll be gone Wednesday. I've got to take this college visit. We may need to try to track down. What's her name? What did you have? Kim. I was wanting to say Pam, and I knew that wasn't right. Kim, we may track her down too. But
That ain't, I got about 5 more.
All right. We'll start conducting business as soon as,
I'm going. I'm going.
what I always want to do is kick the commissioner out of the meeting. There's your coat, Philip.
You think I need it? I did this morning.
All right, additional appropriations in there. We had 2 in there. We've got one from reassessment fund for $3,600. And we've got $3,600 is from the PERF. To be placed in the fund of the PERF, placed in fund number is FICA and PERF. $3,000 in the PERF and $600 in FICA is where it's supposed to be put into. And it's coming from personal services. Okay, do you want to take one at a time or together?
We'll do them together.
All right, go to the second one. This is from the circuit court, from personal services, amount requested, $10,000, and it's supposed to, the way the letter read is from Judge Medlock for pauper attorneys. Mark Clark has asked for us to check up on what those services of pauper attorney, whether they're dealing with adults or with juveniles for reimbursement, correct?
No,
that was a
That is a
different
different thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
sorry
You're
about
the
that.
care of the patient.
But,
I'd still, I mean, that's out of county general, frankly. At this point, gentlemen, I'd table it.
table this.
I'd table that. I mean, if he's got to look at some counsel and say, gentlemen, you got to stop working and we'll take up this case after the first of the year, or lady, I'm not trying to be, ladies or gentlemen, whatever, whoever is appointed, I don't know. But I mean, you're trying to find, in one hand, and those may be bills for services rendered already. I won't say they're not, but, that's coming straight out of county general, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And you're trying to find $186,000. I mean, there's $10,000 right there. I would simply table that, and I can tell him why. And again, if we gotta say, stop working, and we'll take your case up after the first of the year, and he'll continue it generally. I mean, he won't like that. I don't blame him for not liking it, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. And nobody likes that. And I don't know what to do though, as an alternative.
Let me make that motion.
Okay, we're going to take them separately then. All
I
right.
think you
Yeah,
need
that's
to do
on-
in this
We'll
case.
go,
Yeah.
we'll go back to the one circuit court.
This is on circuit court.
Okay,
And,
you make the motion to table,
to table.
okay, do we have a second?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Joe Fleming has seconded for tabling, it's open for discussion. Seeing none, we'll take it to a vote, all in favor signify by raising your right hand. All opposed? Unanimous. Okay, go back to the reassessment, 3,600 for FICA and PERF. I have a motion to approve. Need a payroll.
Yeah, I don't see a reason.
Replace them with-
Well, and the upside of that is, again, just for public, that is out of the reassessment fund. So again, that's out of a pot of money that's different than what we're talking about with insurance, at least in a very general sense, and maybe even we can't use that other than for reimbursement purposes, so it's not like we can go over to that fund, and if we were to borrow it for what we've been talking about from insurance, we'd have to pay it back too. I mean, that's another dedicated fund, so to speak, so you're taking it out of that fund for those specific purposes, so that's not really gonna help us or hurt us with our insurance issue.
Did I transport for
It's just a transfer.
this? Okay. All right. Take it, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Joe Fleming has made the motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Jonathan Spalding is second, it's open for discussion. Seeing none, we'll take it to a vote. All in favor signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same, motion carried. Have a transfer from the treasurer's office. Transfer $420 from a bunch of zeros. Last digits 002 to 001. And what are those?
He's here.
He's here.
What are
What
those
do you
particular
transfer?
accounts? A transfer,
It's taken out of the printing fund into the office supplies. I had to get a new computer so that we could have one for the public.
all right. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Jonathan's made the motion, Dulcie second. Seeing no discussion, we'll take it to a vote. All in favor signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same, motion carried. Shirley?
I'm here on behalf of the election portion of the clerk's office. I believe Marquis had gotten a letter from me through Drew Wright. Since the census
I don't
was
know if that
taken,
went to them. Did it, guys?
I sit in on the meeting, on the commissioner, so I'm not going to speak of what I heard there and got from other information.
From that, the city of Salem had to do some redistricting because of population totals with council districts, which in turn kind of forced us to look at the county council districts to get them up to date as far as population-wise. And let me go ahead and give you guys this. With the guidelines that we have to go by, we had,
I got the one that you sent out with this letter, you haven't changed it.
no, it's the same thing.
Yeah, maybe the
You want that one?
one. Yeah.
You want one, Michelle?
Michelle.
I'll just come bother you.
Okay.
Any questions? No, I've got one, thank you.
The guidelines that we had to follow, you had to be within 5% of what the population was previously established. And with that, the new drawing there, we also have to still meet, a district has to touch each precinct. So we can't like have Brown Township and Gibson Township be in the same council district whenever they don't touch each other. And as you can tell by looking at the map, the population is, of course, basically in Salem and Washington Township, and then they're in the southern part of the county. So the new council districts would look like this, and I don't know if I emphasized it enough at the commissioners meeting, but this still has to be sent into the state election board, and they have to approve it. If they don't approve it, then the lines would stay as they are. The Council 1 district now would have 6,991. Council 2 would have 7,158. District 3, 7,116. And Council 4 would be 6,997, which got us between 1 and 1.3% of what the guidelines was for us to go by. So this is basically information, and if any of you had any questions or anything, I'm finishing up. I've got a few more pieces of paperwork that I've got to put together to send this in, so just wanted to make you aware of what we were working on, so.
The way I understood it in the commissioners meeting, you meet all the parameters in that, so there's no reason why the state would probably deny it in that.
The only thing would be if the time frame doesn't work out, because we are getting to the end of the year and everything has to be finished by them by December 31st.
Okay. And then you just have to verify your figures.
I also have to send in the census blocks that belong to each one, and Sherry's been going through our layer of census blocks off of the mapping, and we've got a list of them so that they would be able to compare that together there. Ours is pretty simple compared to some of the other counties, so I feel like they'll probably go ahead unless, like I said, they still had a few that was ahead of us. So if we didn't get into the line and the cutoff does come, then I'll bring that back to you at the end of the year.
Okay. So we don't have any action that we have to do?
Now, the commissioners had to submit a resolution so that it was approved to send in. So
All right, very good.
it was just more or less information so you would all be in the loop.
All right, appreciate that. Any questions of Shirley from the council?
If it was approved, we'd get a hard copy of exactly what everything was, right? I didn't write down the numbers,
Oh.
but it's all relative until somebody puts a rubber stamp on it, so.
Yeah. And again, the figures I read off are population figures, not registered voter totals, so. All right.
All right, thank you, Shirley. Soil and Water, Tom Godfrey, the president or chairman of Soil Conservation, he wasn't able to be in here, but Dara is that right, Dara?
Dara.
Dara Borden has taken a position with another firm, well, actually Kimball's, as an environmental engineering manager in that. So she has taken that position, and I'll read the letter. I just told Tom to write a letter. I've got it on iPad, so I don't have it in hard form for you, so I'll read it. To Washington County Council President David Hoare and council members, Washington County Soil and Water Conservation District Office Manager Program Coordinator Dara Borden resigned her position effective September 27th. The Soil Conservation District Board is seeking your approval to hire a replacement to refill the position for which you have previously budgeted for. With your approval, the board will begin the process of hiring someone to help us serve Washington County's conservation needs. We appreciate your consideration in this matter. Sincerely, Tom Godfrey, Washington County Soil Conservation District President, Chairman. So this is a procedure to refill a position instead of an automatic refill. They were at the meeting at the commissioners, and the commissioners gave approval for the position to be refilled. So it's a procedural issue, but where we're at in the budget and all this type of stuff, I mean, it is a budgeted item for 2013. What's the will of the council?
What's it gonna save your year fund if you don't fill it?
Just,
Less than 24,000,
well,
Well.
give 2 months worth of salary.
Yeah.
That's
What
it.
it was.
but less than 24.
24,000.
I mean, the whole
20.
salary is 24,000.
Yeah, it'd be about $2,400 or 22.
Yeah.
Make a motion that
$2,000.
motion to replace that.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to go ahead and have the soil conservation look at a replacement for that position. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Dawson Souter, second. It's open for discussion. Seeing none, we'll take it to a vote. All in favor, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same. Motion carried. Corey Harper and Bob Woodward, I guess, were there. Corey. No, he's gonna throw you into the wolves.
Yeah, he knows better. He wouldn't be able to talk anyway. Well, guys, my name is Corey Harper. I've met several of you in the past. Wanted to come up and just kind of address the council and give you guys an update on the airport project. I know it is a city airport, but the county council has been a good friend of the airport in recent years, and we want to come up and give you an update directly. Thank you for your participation up until now, and kind of give you an update of where we're at. As you guys probably read in the paper, the airport received a sizable grant from the FAA this year to the tune of about $3.8 million of development costs to be able to do the full project. The project on the table at this point is buying 2 parcels of land, and we're going to be able to do the grading and drainage for the first 3,000 feet of runway. So no paving, no lighting, no electrical facilities, but at this point we're doing the drainage installation, the grading for the first 3,000 foot of runway. So the 2 parcels we're buying here, these are things that I've had on the airport open house and exhibits in the past. But then we're also doing the grading work for the 3,000 foot runway from here and the apron area and the parking area under this project. So we did receive the grant money to proceed with that, and no thanks to you guys. We definitely appreciate your guys' support over the years, and the support you guys have given the airport in the past. So just want to give you guys an update, be able to answer any questions you guys have and talk about the project as a whole. And then I did bring up some display boards. I'll put them up right side up. But bring some display boards that I can actually leave with you guys if you guys wish to talk about the 2 phases, the two project scopes we're doing right now, which is land acquisition and the grading and drainage. So I can leave these 2 with you and show you guys where we're at and what's going on. kind of the highlights of the two projects. We'll just leave them with you guys for review if you guys want. But primarily, just wanted to thank you for everything you guys have done for the airport so far.
Very good. I mean, as far as the, so this construction phase in there, you're actually going to be moving dirt, but it's all going to be as far as dirt moving and drainage, period.
Well,
And is there going to be any more utilities replacement in there? Are you looking in the future as far as any expenses to the county to come about on roads and where they're at, or what's your thoughts in here?
We, at this time, right now, we have, under a previous project, we're installing water and sewer to a location on Beeline Road, which is, get my bearings straight, in this area right in through here, which is my predecessor. As you guys know, or may know, my company was hired in January to pick up the airport project. My predecessor, the consultant before us, had showed a terminal building location up along Beeline Road, and one of the cost savings and time savings that we presented was to move the terminal building about 1,000 feet west over along Drive-In Theater Road. By doing that, we alleviate the need to build a new terminal building, and we alleviate the need to install a lot of new utilities, road, and other infrastructure components. This shaved about 4 years out of the time cycle, and it saved about $3 million out of the construction cost. But by doing that, where the utilities were planned to go through on their design and stop, is not in the proximity to where our utilities will be long term. So we will eventually need to get the utilities, water and sewer, all the way over to the terminal building, where it's going to be long-term. The terminal building will be at the house on the residence, which previously was the Jackson property on Drive-In Theater Road. So eventually, long-term, we will need to get utilities over to that, but at this point, they will stop down Beeline Road about a quarter of a mile from the airport. The grant of the project that was done previously was done before we ever got involved. There was no direction. They weren't going that far out. So we don't have the funds in the budget to extend the line all the way down to the terminal building, so it'll stop where it's at, and we'll have to pick up that project at a later date and finish it out to the terminal building. But at this time, there's no major road improvements. We have been impacted on the utility project, had to get into the county road right away. I know there's been some talk at the county commissioners meetings to allow us to work in the county road right away, and we've stayed within those limits when needed, or we've worked with landowners to acquire easements to install those utilities. Again, that's all the project that was started by R.W. Armstrong, and we're working to finish, just to do an inspection. But the grading and drainage that's going in now is just for the 3,000 foot of runway. So this is still for just the 3,000 foot. There is time in the near future we will extend the runway to the 5,000 foot, acquiring more land, doing more grading, and the plan is right now is to open the runway for 3,000 foot with the apron and the terminal building before we begin extension of the 5,000 foot. So we'll be able to close the existing airport once we get the 3,000 foot open. At this time, we anticipate that being at the end of next year. The grant would come in 2014. Depends on when the grant cycle comes. If it's late in the season, we may not be able to get the paving done in the time frame to allow it to be open next year, but it may be open early the spring of 15. But we would anticipate getting the grant next year, sometime around August, September time frame of next year, to be able to do the paving, the concrete work for the apron, and the lighting system on the runway. So at that point, we'd be able to open the runway, provided that we can go through some other avenues and get through some other hurdles as well. There's still a few things to go through, one of them being the cell phone tower out there. We got to work with them, and I have a meeting this afternoon up in Indianapolis to meet with them, to talk to them about what are the impacts, what are our options. So.
Okay. Council, questions? Then? So you don't anticipate coming back? I figured you were coming here for money.
Not at this time. At this time, I'm thanking you for your support. At this time, your guys' support has been very well received, and we really appreciate it. At this time, we're not asking for anything additional. So at this time, we're saying thank you.
All right.
You don't want to just give him a little on the side.
Well, you've heard the conversations around here already. So it's not
I
very,
whispered to him and I said, I'm glad we're not here asking for money.
It's not a very good format for asking for money.
No, we're here saying thank you. The airport is definitely a tool for economic development for the community, and I think the council in the previous years has realized that and why the support came to the airport and for the project, even though it is a city airport. I know the council supported in the past. I've only been working in the county in the airport for this community since January, so I'm trying to work on a lot of the knowledge and stories that I've heard from board members and airport folks, but I know the county's been instrumental in helping us get this far, so I want to say thank you.
Well, it is a controversial subject.
I know.
Yeah, very much. And so, you know, the thing about it, as we go in there, of course, we've heard with the industrial park, and I don't know how much involvement you have, whether the airport or the development of the industrial park. I know that I've had calls come back to me asking, as far as the county, you know, could we, you know, enhance the county road systems up to the airport, especially to the industrial park. Of course, I've heard the controversy as far as that the city involvement, whether you call it a city airport, some people don't call it a city airport. So, so what is it? Is it a city airport?
The airport board is appointed by the city of Salem.
That sounds like a city airport.
So it is at this point, it is a municipal airport under the direct direction of the city.
Yeah.
Not to say that the county can't be involved or isn't involved, but the direct appointments of the airport board is by the city. I'm not getting you, hey, look, another board member just came in. I'm not getting you either one of you out of this. I'm up here standing in front of you, but I always tell these guys,
Yeah.
anytime I'm up talking to the community, that I like to have a board member there and present with me, because I work at their discretion. So.
Right. Well, I understand, you know, and I know this project's been tailored down and stuff, and some of the controversy is that what benefit we're going to have with another 100 feet of runway compared to the old airport.
The first 3,000 foot of runway will provide, it'll provide a clear and safe landing operation for aircraft.
Okay.
The current runway has buildings in the RPZ, they have roads, state highways in the RPZ, and they have a narrower than standard safety landing facility for pilots. So the runway is only 60 foot wide. For the type of landing and runway capabilities, the runway should be 75 foot wide. Also, for a pilot, the runway orientation now currently is not preferred because it provides a situation where pilots have to land in a crosswind a majority of the time. The new runway will be aligned with predominant wind direction from Indiana. Southern Indiana, predominant wind directions out of the southeast, out of the southwest, blowing up to the northeast. So this runway will be aligned with the winds and provide pilots with the direction more suitable for safe landings for wind direction. So this immediate first step provides several interim steps in order to be able to extend to the 5,000 foot runway, which will be able to accommodate larger corporate jets as well. So the first 3,000 foot of runway is a preliminary step to eventually get to the 5,000 foot runway. The 3,000 foot runway also allows for the current runway to be closed and no longer be utilized in that regard. So once the 3,000 foot of runway is built, the FAA will allow us to cease use at the current site, at the current airport. And that has some benefits to the community as well.
All right. Have you had any interest in anybody looking at the old airport whenever that does happen?
A lot of that does happen outside of the preview of the airport board itself. I think a lot of the conversations started way before I got in the picture, way before January. But I've heard a lot of talk about interests of multiple different types of facilities being used on that property. So it's a lot of discussion. I have nothing to confirm it or to solidify it, but it's just I've overheard a lot of conversations.
So could some of those monies that they acquire from that be utilized to help in the infrastructure cost of the additional roads that's being asked for of our county roads?
Any of the revenue that comes from sale of the airport. So in other words, FAA statute says any money generated by the airport, for the airport, or through airport lands or airport revenues must stay at the airport for airport infrastructure development. That falls in line with that. But there's a lot of things you can do with that money, but you have to spend it with the airport. It can't go out to the city general fund or the county general fund to do other things. I think it would be up to the FAA to approve how those funds were spent, even though that is at that point local money. you would have to still, the FAA would have to approve how those funds would be expended. In other words, if you're going to go put in a hotel or something, even though that may have an ancillary benefit by the airport or to the airport, that may not be able to be utilized. But it depends on like utilities or something like that being, installed to the terminal building, that would be an eligible item. So it really depends on a case-by-case basis, and the FAA has final say in all that.
Okay. All right. Questions I had. Anybody else? And if not,
Okay. Besides the thank you guys, well, besides the thank you, we just recently went through and, with the city, a zoning update, where we had, a zoning updated within the city limits and their 2-mile buffer that they, through their area plan, review building permits through. That full zoning update was in compliance with Indiana code. So in other words, we didn't do anything that wasn't identified in Indiana code. And going through that process, we got the first step is, since it is a city airport, to get it approved within the city. There are Indiana codes for height restrictions and noise sensitivity items that fall outside of the city's 2-mile buffer. There are height restrictions that cover the whole state of Indiana. And I would like to start working with the county's area plan to maybe do some additional zoning within the county just to make them aware of what those height restrictions are. Like I said, these are just Indiana code items, so they're nothing above and beyond what Indiana code requires to be reviewed and permitted through at this time. Indiana code, this goes back to when I was about 5 years old when this Indiana code was originally adopted. So it's nothing new. It has been modified over time, but the Indiana code, which governs Tall Structures Act, actually goes back to the early 1980s. So there's Indiana code back to the early 80s that pertain to height restrictions and protecting for airport environments. And I'd like to be able to work with the area plan from the county side to be able to make sure that we're developing things in and around the county in concurrence that protect the airport as well.
if you have maps and language that pertains to that, I might put you into the Plan Commission,
Okay.
Chairman.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'd like to ask, is just ask for your permission with the council, and I know I'd have to address the commissioners as well, but we'd like to work with the area plan to be able to develop that. Like I said, we're not asking for anything that's not Indiana code, so.
From what I understand, it'll have to go through a public hearing and that type of stuff.
Yep.
Now, could we do that with the city at the same time, the city and county? See, we got county plan commission, we got city plan commission. Is there an opportunity for us to have that public hearing together?
I'd say there is, but we've already done it. We
Okay.
already went through the city.
All right.
We went
city's
through, we went through the city as a first step, since it is a municipal airport, we went through the
All right.
city and have it done. So we would have to, I guess, yes, we can do them together, but the city's
done.
already approved it.
All right, all right. Well, I thought that we was going to get correspondence, but we can do that.
Yeah. And I felt the first step was to get it approved through the city and then work outward from there. So that was my decision, my guidance to the airport board to work in that manner.
Okay, very good.
All right. I'll leave these with you guys. On these two, is there someplace do you want them? Do you want me to take them with me?
You want to put them in do we have a place to display this in the courthouse or anything?
Over here.
Or right here?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put them over here for jail.
Put them up with the jail?
Yeah, put them at the jail.
Put me in jail?
Yeah.
I didn't think the news I was talking about was that bad. Jail. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Salary ordinance. In there, have you had a chance to review? This is to pertain to what our budget is for next year. Kind of give the longevity is addressed in here, and then the gross wages, and then it's got a listing of the wages of the personnel all involved. Need a motion to approve.
Was that one sent out recently? I got one, but it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was.
That's it? Okay. Then I've reviewed it.
Okay, anybody want to make a motion to approve? Gerald Fleming has made a motion. Do we have a second? Randall Bills has made the second. It's open for discussion.
Is that reflecting $30
longevity.
longevity, that's what I
Yes,
thought.
yep,
Yeah, I was looking for mine, I reviewed it, I thought that's.
yep. Okay, seeing no more discussion, take to a vote. All in favor, signify by raising your right hand. All against, same, motion carried. Okay. Is that it? Okay, going around to the council. No, Gerald, you have anything as far as on the,
Some of the guys are worried about the insurance, but I guess we're still on hold. So
yeah?
what's going on?
And the information is going to be coming to you, forthcoming to the employees as soon as we get where we're at with it, with some more information. It's kind of premature for us to give you kind of an idea on it.
Some of them thought that they had to, if they wanted to get on their WISE program,
Right.
they had to enroll by the end of October. But according to Mark, you don't have to do that. There's some of them concerned about that.
All right. I will give you an update. I went to a commissioners meeting a little bit, and John relayed if I missed anything. They discussed several things about the ambulance service and the current ownership of some ambulances. We've got some age on some ambulances. They're looking at maybe transferring some bodies maybe to some other units. They're getting some repair costs on those ambulances because of their age. You have a 7, an 8, and also an 04, and maybe an 05 model in there. And so, but they're also in the process of negotiating with Knox County with the ambulance service. Had an insurance proposal from Consolidated Union in that, and talked about a wellness plan, replacement office manager. NDOT had presented, they're looking at repair on State Road 56, and next summer there will be utilities moved, and they were asking for a detour for construction. Road will be done in 2015. And what I understand is this the corridor into Salem?
Yeah, I think it's from the stoplight there all the way to
That-
Chapel Road out there.
Heritage Chapel, but
Yeah.
they're not gonna redo anything at the bypass once it's been redone, but we're gonna widen and resurface that area there at 56 stoplight. So that really ought to be a real congestion nightmare right there. Bicentennial celebration, they did a $2,500 contribution out of edit funds for the book on them. And then the highway department had quite a bit of a conversation on that. We got $620,000 that we thought we were going to get as a lump sum coming into us for paving, but it's already built into the formula. So the highway department is redoing their budget, and we can't do anything to that budget until January. Then we'll have to have it reflect what the highway department come back with to take that money out of that. But it's already, they're already getting money as of July. They're working with the highway department, the secretary, as far as making sure that that is categorized as far as state funding for repaving projects compared to our new paving projects. So that's being done there. We're working with that, John.
Yeah, everybody saw it, that one memo was sent out that we're gonna get a one lump sum for 2013. Then we found out they're working on the fiscal year, July 1st to July 1st, so we just get it incrementally during the year, so we will get it, but not as soon as we thought it would.
I think that our next order of business in November, to have heads up in there, is that to accommodate the money that was already received in there, we'll be making a appropriation in our council meeting in November to the MVH Road Maintenance Fund. So that'll be coming up. We had to advertise it, or we would have done it at this meeting, but we'll advertise it and have it for appropriation in November. County redistricting, you've already heard that. Subdivision ordinance change, which they elaborated to a little bit with the airport. There's on the subdivision ordinance with the 2-mile fringe has been reviewed and taken care of by the commissioners. Jail project, there was an update, and then I had to step out, and I think at the very last, Sarah and John, I think you did an emergency order as far as on a bridge.
Bridge 58, is that what?
Bridge 58.
They did.
One out there with South Boston, marked South Boston, somebody went over it, I guess, with an overweight truck. It's not safe. And some big rocks piled there, and I think Gerald said somebody even went over those.
So it's past patching and repairing to now it's at a replacement. Is that right, Gerald?
That's correct.
Okay. And so we're working with an emergency order, and the commissioners acted onto that. Council, is there anything that you'd like to discuss?
Hoosier Hills, I went to a meeting last week, and it sounds like they're helping Gibson Township with the tanker. That was pretty unsafe. I mean, they didn't have a baffle system, and they loaded it with water and tried to respond to a fire, and that truck was like a moving nightmare with one flip over, so I think they've granted them almost $100,000 to buy a new truck, so that's a good thing. You know, the fire department that's going on down in, you know, the new replacement of the fire department down on Becks Mill Road. And there's some, yeah, Blue River, they're helping them with that, so Hoosier Hills is definitely helping the county. Grants, River Hills, sorry. River Hills Economic Development, yeah.
John?
A lot of people always want to know where their money goes. Well, River Hills is one area where the county gets their money back. We pay something, our dues is something like $6,300 a year. It's according to population of the 5-county area. So that's one area where the county spends money wisely. Stay in there.
Okay. Any other council members? Any reports in that? Sarah, Michelle, airport, Bob, treasurer's office?
Getting ready for another tax collecting.
Yeah. Jason? Okay, Gerald? Rhonda? All right. I will entertain a motion to adjourn if there's no other business.
I'll make that motion.
Jonathan Spalding has made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Gerald Fleming, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Take a
24 hours.